If you're a drinker and you're going to celebrate Christmas, you need to listen to this. This is about a Christmas completely ruined by me. Not intentionally, of course, but I was drinking too much, obviously. I was still in the Met Police then, and I've been doing a lot of overtime. I had a bit of spare cash, so I thought, wouldn't it be nice for me, my wife, and my daughter to go to a holiday place, something like Centre Parks, something like that, with my sister, her husband, and my parents. So arranged to get 3 lodges in this place. I was near Nottingham, that sort of way, and I thought it was going to be really good, like the fantasy reality type thing, you know, the fantasy of going with the family and having a great time. Anyway, so we booked Friday and Saturday night, and a Christmas meal on the Saturday. I can't remember if it was Christmas Day. It must have been Christmas Day, actually, the Saturday. So we go up there, and obviously I'd had a few drinks in the morning, so I had to say to the wife, you'll have to drive. Not a good start, is it? She didn't get on particularly well with my parents anyway, or my sister. Oh God. As soon as I booked it, I regretted it, if that makes sense. Anyway, I had a few drinks, because I was quite nervous about going up there, to be honest, and seeing them all. So I thought we'll get there in plenty of time, steady things down a bit. I'll have a couple of drinks, go to the local off licence, all that sort of thing. And then I'd arrived at sort of 6 o'clock, so we set off reasonable time from Essex Strip, the M11. Anyway, I got there, and they were already there. I thought, oh geez, we haven't got time to unpack and get settled, you know, before they all come to us, because I'd arranged it, and I've always been the one that arranges things, and people come, oh, this isn't right, that isn't right. I'm thinking, geez, why can't you sort it yourself? So they all had problems with these lodges, and the heating wouldn't work, or whatever it was. I thought, well, just go to the site office and sort it out, you know. Anyway, I got all of that to deal with. Daughter was only about 2 at the time. My wife's something to do with my daughter. Stressed to hell, I mean, beyond belief, because the other relations wanted to do this, and where we're going to have this meal and all this nonsense. I thought, just chill out. All I wanted to do was, obviously, have a guess, have a drink. So I thought, it's difficult to sneak this in, but I managed to sneak a box of Stella or something into the lodge. And the first thing everyone did was descend on us. So I had my mother and father, sister and husband, who didn't have any kids, descending us into this tiny little lodge. We were still trying to get unpacked. They'd been there for hours, you see. Nothing better to do, I would imagine, than get there and harass me. That's what I came across anyway. So I thought, how am I going to get out of this? You know, I've got to have some more drinks. So I had a dog at the time. I took the dog for a walk. As always, dogs are great for getting to the bar. Anyway, I found this little bar on the side somewhere. I had a couple of drinks in there, steady me down a bit. I'm going to get some more drink. Went back. They were all having a cup of tea and cake. You know what I'm saying? If you drink, you'll know what I'm talking about. Cup of tea and a cake in the afternoon. Well, I don't do teas and cakes. I didn't used to. I still don't do cake. So I'm like, I had a massive tolerance to drink then, massive. So eventually I said, well, we'll go out tonight. So 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. So obviously all I wanted to do was drink, isn't it? But I was under the spotlight. Now, bear in mind, I'd lived in London for a long time. My parents were up north. My sister and her husband were up north. So I really had free rein. The only person who knew that I was drinking heavily was my wife. Well, ex-wife, obviously, now. Thankfully. However, that's a different story. So I'm trying to get as much drink down my neck as I can when they're getting ready for this meal, you see. Wife's not happy with all that. Baby's not particularly well. The usual family stress, and then the drink on top. But I wasn't drunk really. I didn't get drunk. I just used to, just drink heavily. Then she got the meal, and they're like, oh, we'll have a half log. And I'm thinking, I need 6 pints of Stella, 6 pints of Peroni, something, just to get myself through. So I had a few pints, a few sneaky ones as well. I used to have like a quick half at the bar. I would always go and get the drinks. The drinks around the corner from this, where the table was. I'll never forget this break. It was like torture. I'd been in prison. So, get the bar, get a couple of pints, bring them back, have my little half, plus a drink for me on the way back. That went on most of the night. Then me and my dad went to this bar. I had a few with him, which is good. I was out of sight a little bit. He was on about me. God, you're drinking too much. You're drinking too much. You're drinking too much. You know what it's like when you're under the spotlight. I can't handle this just a couple of days away. Because when I was at home in Essex, I had my own little routine. I had plenty of drink in the garage, in the house, in the car. I had a pub within, 5 minutes walk, Forest Gate in Epping Forest. Lovely if I get a chance to go there. And I used to drink Beck's lager in there. Bex with lime on draft, fantastic. Anyway, so get back. They're eventually gone about midnight. I thought, thank God for that. I'll have a few more bottles of beer. Next day, I thought I'll have a bit of a lie-in. No lie-in, obviously, because they're up about 7 o'clock. What are we going to do now? I thought, why didn't you just do something yourself? So, like more or less in hours again, we didn't have to shower or anything. I had to say to them in the end, look, can you just give us an hour? Okay, we'll come back now. Why did you come back? Anyway, so I thought, I'll have to have a few drinks. So she started on me and she started shouting, screaming. This is all going on. This is before I had this Christmas meal, you see. And that just turned into just a total nightmare from then on. So we weren't speaking. The usual carry on. Parents got wind of that. What's the problem? Then she started, my ex-wife. Oh, he's drinking too much. And then the focus was on me then, wasn't it? For the whole of the day. It's completely ruined the Christmas lunch I paid for. The whole lot was a nightmare. So we did all that in the afternoon, more arguments, and it just ruined. My drinking really ruined the whole weekend. If I'd been in quotation marks a normal drinker, maybe wouldn't have been like that. I think people suspected that I'd drank a bit too much, or a lot too much. But that polarised it in a way, and I just think, I want to go back to my own routine. So it was a complete nightmare on the Saturday. I was still nipping out with the dog to have a few drinks on this Christmas Day. It was cold weather. It was just a total disaster is probably too soft a word, really. But it just goes to show that if you're drinking and you're used to getting this little routine, you don't realise how much you are consuming, because I was consuming a lot then. During the day, during the night, when I'd finished work and this sort of thing, and I had a little pub nearby. Nobody to keep an eye on me. And I think that's a big stress, that, when you go into this family thing. It's not just Christmas, it's the fact you've got to spend time with other people. They probably don't know your habits, and they will be critical of you, so beware of that. So if you're trying to get sober, then try your best at this time of year. But I know it's not easy, because you've got this family pressure if you fancy a drink. I mean, if you're sober already, it's great, isn't it? But they knew I was drinking too much, and they just got total sight of it then, I suppose. But it's nice to now be sober. Sorry my dad's not around anymore, but I can still get to see relatives. I'm sober, I can have a cup of tea, and I feel quite good now about Christmas and this sort of thing. But that was one particular one that was ruined. I think they were all ruined, actually. I'm not going to say all by me, but my drinking didn't help, and it certainly increased my anxiety levels. So eventually on the Sunday morning when we left, I had a couple of cans of beer, and my dad said, why are you not driving? And that was the final straw really for me. I just said, look, I'm not driving because I don't feel well. And he said, oh, you've been drinking. So I just thought, what a carry on. What a waste of money, what a waste of time, what a waste of everyone's time. And it doesn't do you any good, this drinking lark. It just brings everybody down. Especially when you look back and reflect back, they were just caring for me really in a way, because they knew I was on the slippery slope, and in the end I nearly died from it. So they were right, now I was wrong. But it's one of those things, isn't it? And I'm glad I'm here to spread the word and try and help you out. And if you want to get sober, I'll do it with you. Please subscribe and share the channel. If you've got any particular comments, then drop me a line. I'll speak to you all soon.